If you want to know how to better build your business on social media and get clients as a real estate agent, this video is for you. So stay tuned. Hello my people, as you know, my name is Aaron. I'm a real estate agent in the Chicagoland area, and this video is all about how you can prospect on social media and build your business that way. This is piggybacking off of last week's video where I kind of talked about the biggest mistakes I see real estate agents make, and as I get into the points here, you're gonna quickly realize why I pick those 5 things. Let's get into exactly how you can better prospect on social media, what to post, how to post it, and what to say to actually get people to, number one, have a connection with you, keep you in mind when real estate comes up, and then reach out to you when they're interested or they have a friend interested. I wanted to keep this more of a formula than all right, do this, because I feel like a formula can be easily applied. Before I get into it, please take a moment to like this video if you enjoyed it and leave a comment below with your thoughts on how you feel about the formula, or I guess the process I'm about to share with you. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Let's get into it. Number 1, and I'm using a red marker because it matches my red shirt, spark emotion. What do I mean by this? This is actually something very crucial that a lot of people miss. And a lot of sparking emotion happens in the captions. For example, if you're on Instagram, I should say. If you're on Instagram and you just post a picture of a house, right? Like the one thing that pisses me off the most. You take a picture of a house, and then in the caption you just say, "What a beautiful house." You're doing nothing to me. You're doing nothing to me. Or you just listed a house, right? You take a picture of that house and you say, "Just listed," or "Price adjustment," "Just sold," all that good stuff. You're not sparking any emotion, so my thumb is going to keep scrolling through, right? Same for Facebook. You kind of have to write something because it's more of a blog setup than it is sharing a photo. But nonetheless, sparking an emotion is very crucial because that's really how you build a connection. The best way you could do this is actually not with real estate. Even though you do need to share real estate, and I'll talk about that in a minute. The best way you can spark emotion in someone is to actually share your personal life with them a little bit. Share the bad moments, share the good moments, explain what you've learned, all that good stuff. And that's how you build a connection, because we're all human, and believe it or not, oftentimes we go through 80% of the same crap anyway. But when you share it, I'm like, oh, I've done that. I can relate to that guy or girl, whatever. Boom, spark emotion, you become relatable, and people start following you and actually enjoying your content. Number 1. Number 2 is to share experiences, right? Oftentimes people ask me, I don't know what to post. Well, how am I going to post every single day? What am I going to say? And the easiest way is to share an experience every day you're going to have some kind of an experience, whether it's a client firing you, or you just got a listing, or maybe somebody hung up on you, or your phone broke, you slipped on the way to work, or you got a flat tire, etc. Share experiences. That is actually extremely valuable. So if you can't come up with something to post, share an experience. Maybe if you are going to do one of those just close posts, share your experience in that transaction, right? Like, wow, this was one of the easiest transactions of my life. Here's what happened. Oh my God, this was the rough transaction. Here's what we did. Boom, you're sharing an experience. Again, it's relatable, it sparks emotion, it gets my interest. I'm curious, I want to learn more. All right, that's number 2. Number 3, and by far the most valuable thing I can tell you today, is the 80-20 rule. You've heard this before, and it applies the same thing to marketing, business, sales, communication, anything, right? You know what they say in sales, you do 20% of the talking, you let the prospect do 80% of the talking, all that good stuff. It's similar when you're marketing yourself, right? You can't have 80% of your content be pure advertisement, because that's when you lose your audience, because no one's interested in being sold 24/7. Now, you do have to 20% of the time remind people, hey, I'm in real estate, this is my job, this is what I do, right? But 80% of the time, you can be yourself, okay? So here's the formula that if you go on my Instagram page, you'll actually be able to see this. I would say 80% of my posts are extremely personal, whether I'm snowboarding, which happened recently, or I'm playing basketball, or maybe I slipped on something, or it's my birthday, or so I'm with family, or whatever the case is, right? 80% of it is me sharing my experiences, my hobbies, my thoughts, my beliefs, etc., right? 20% of it, however, is always real estate. So if you go through every 5 or 6 posts, you will see a picture of a house. Yes, that was one of the biggest mistakes real estate agents make, but the mistake I was trying to get you guys to understand was that all of your content, that like 90%, 80% is real estate posts. That's when things go wrong. Okay, you have to have things people can relate to and build a connection with, and then 20% of the time, dose them. Jab them, as Gary Vee says, jab them with real estate. No, I'm sorry, jab them with the 80% stuff, and then hook them with the real estate. So that's essentially what the 80-20 rule is. It works. And a little caveat I will leave you before I move on to number 4 is, if you go through all my captions, and again, this is why sharing an experience, sparking emotion, and the 80-20 rule combined are so effective. If you go through all of my captions, 80% of the time, it's not real estate related. But somehow, some way, if you read the caption, you will know that I am a real estate agent. That is very important. It does take time to kind of have that, I don't want to use the ability because it's not really a skill. I'm not trying to brag here, but it takes time to kind of see where to plug that in every single time and where it's super natural. So if you're interested, go to my captions. If you want, you can just copy them, whatever. Number 4, this is very valuable. This is very, very valuable. So educate. Social media is a great way for your clients to see exactly who you are. Number 1, what's your character? Can they trust you? And do you know what you're doing, right? Now, instead of you having to tell people you know what you're doing, I want you to educate on your social media. So on your Facebook, make videos educating the clients. And you would be surprised how many people don't know the buying process, or don't know what earnest money is, or don't know how many days it takes to close, or what's the rental process look like, how much money do you need down. I just came up with this many ideas off the top of my head, right? So make sure you are educating your following. And I'm gonna give you an actual real life example that recently worked, okay? For the last year and a half, I have been on social media aggressively, and I have made videos educating my client base, either through just exact videos only to educate, or through my Instagram stories where I'm like, here's what's happening, and here's where the mistake happened, etc. A year and a half ago, I started making these videos about investing, right? They were peppered here and there, and I posted a couple on LinkedIn. And a friend from high school, who I haven't talked to in years, reached out to me saying, hey, I'm looking to invest. I saw some of your videos. I know what you're talking about. I know you know what you're talking about. Why don't we get together? Now we have ourselves a very qualified investor who is interested in buying not just one, but multiple properties in the next 5 years. So keep that in mind and make sure you're educating your clientele. It's very, very important. And finally, number 5 is simple. It's very simple. We can all do it, and that is to have fun with it, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, you want to keep it professional. Yes, you want to keep talking about real estate. It's business related. We're trying to make money. But if you just have fun with it, everything will be a lot easier. Number 1, you'll be more consistent with it because it's fun. You're going to enjoy it more. You're not going to look at it as a chore. And essentially, a lot of people are going to love watching it as well because you're having fun. For example, if you go on my Instagram stories or my Facebook, or a lot of it is me simply having fun. I'm joking around. I'm making people laugh, or I'm trying to kind of entertain, I should say, right? I'm a very energetic person. Maybe it's not your style, but whatever. I'm having fun, and that's what makes all of this kind of come together. It's the glue that puts it together. Because the truth is, if I wasn't having fun, if I didn't enjoy making these YouTube videos, trust me, I would have stopped when only 10 people were watching my videos. Because I'm like, what's the point of this? I only kept going because I actually enjoy this. I enjoy talking to the camera, as embarrassing as that sounds, but I enjoy it. So having fun is what's going to keep you consistent, and that consistency is what's going to make you that cheddar. Now, all this combined is what really makes it a very powerful system, right? Let's go through it, and then I'm going to kind of put it all together for you. Number 1, you want to spark emotion. That's the basis of everything you post. Everything you post should spark some kind of emotion, whether it's anger, which is probably not preferred, right? Frustration, joy, laughter, whatever it is. Curiosity, that's a really big one for marketing. It should spark some kind of emotion out of the person you're trying to attract, okay? Number 2 is to share your experiences. That's one of the best things to do because nothing is more annoying than just telling people things, right? But if you share your experience and you're human about it, right? Let's say if you made a mistake and you're sharing that experience of why you made that mistake, you would be surprised at how many people will back you up. I actually did one time make a mistake. Not one time, I made many mistakes, as you guys have seen. I have made a mistake with a client before, and literally as soon as I realized the mistake, I'm like, what a great opportunity to put myself out there. And I made a 5-minute video explaining why I made a mistake and what I'm gonna do to correct it. This is in a way educating your client base, letting them know, hey, I already learned this mistake and I'm not gonna do it again. And then they also know you're honest and you're willing to share those moments and they can trust you. Now, the 80-20 rule, this is very powerful. You don't want to be boring. You don't want to be old work. You don't want to be old business. Yes, you have to remind people you're a real estate agent 20% of the time. Take a picture of a house, maybe your sales sign or a contract or whatever, right? 80% of the time, I want you to share your experiences, educate your clients, even though it's kind of like in between the 80-20 mark, and then have fun. All right? That way you keep your base coming in, coming back for more content. Number 4, educate your client base. You want to make sure you, number 1, the clients you bring over to you, they already kind of know the process. And number 2, they know that you know what you're talking about. That is actually very important. And then number 5, have fun with it. We're all just trying to have fun. Don't take it so serious. It's social media. It's Instagram. Here one day, gone tomorrow. So that's essentially it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is one of my favorite topics to talk about because there's a lot of insight I can provide to because I've been doing it for so long and I'm kind of 24, so it's the one thing I'm decent at. So thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, please comment below and like the video. And I tell you what, I did this in my last video. If you watched it to the end, do me a solid and I want you to comment red marker. Let's do that. Comment red marker if you watched it to the end. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I didn't realize this many people would respond last time. If you comment red marker, I'm going to put you in a raffle. And if you win, I'm going to send you a Starbucks gift card just to show my appreciation. And thank you guys so much for always sticking along with me and supporting me along this YouTube journey. Thank you and have a great day.